Happy summer to everyone. This is August and we live in Texas. We live in Houston, Texas. And it's to the point now in August that like it's 100 degrees by, lunchtime. It gets up to like 103, 104. Like you go outside, you have to take a shower. You walk to the car, you're now sweaty. It's warm out there. It's going to be that way, but it's going to get better here soon. But anyway, right now we're kind of in the middle of summer. And I don't mind the heat so much. I kind of like it sometimes for short periods of time, but the plants apparently are having a bit of a hard time. I enjoy planting, especially seeds from, previous things. So like this was an avocado seed, bought the avocado, planted the seed, it's growing roots. You stick it in the cup, you put it in the ground, and you may think that I don't actually know how to take care of plants based on the way this one is looking. But I do actually water this one. It's been sitting outside. It's been sitting under the shade, so it's not in direct sun, but apparently it still thinks it's a little warm out there. It's still alive. It's just crispy a little bit. But I wanted to show you and compare this plant to this plant. This is my beautiful bathtub orchid. And orchids are my favorite flower. They are so completely gorgeous. And when we were in the Caribbean, we got to go to a place called Orchid World, and it was so many different types of orchids all over the place. It was this huge, beautiful garden. It was amazing. This one is not from there. This one came from here. But this is a very, very beautiful orchid, and this thing has been blooming and growing. It'll grow a new leaf, it'll grow a new stem, it'll grow a new flower. It's been blooming since January of last year. That was when I got it. When I bought it in January of last year, and I thought, I hope I don't kill it. And I've tried very hard not to. And surprisingly, this is like the first orchid that I've ever managed to not kill. And it's gorgeous. And I think the reason that it is so happy is because it sits in the bathroom, so it's inside, right up against a window, so it gets like indirect heat, but it's got like the curtain, and so it's indirect heat through the window. And then it's a humid room, right? So orchids are tropical plants. They like being in those kind of environments where there's a lot of rain, and so the shower goes on in the bathroom a lot, and then the bath is sitting right there by the bathtub. So every night I take my bubble baths, and there's my orchid, and it's so beautiful. And I wanted to show you these two flowers because I think that they are a perfect example of thriving or not. Both of them are alive. Okay, this is still green. Both of them are alive, but this one is doing amazing, and this one is not having a very good life right now. Right now, it's possible that I could take this one inside and give it lots of attention and love, and it might be fine eventually. But how often in life, especially with our jobs, do we go through job days like this? We are surviving. We made it through, right? Living the dream, but not quite, right? Hanging in there is the term we hear a lot. How are you doing? I'm hanging in there. So like, I'm not dead yet. This is not the goal for jobs. When I work with my career clients and I'm coaching them on how do you want to find a job that would be good for you, that you would thrive in, we use the term finding your optimal environment. An optimal environment means it is the environment that you thrive in, that you love, you're going to do so well in. It is not the environment that's going to make you feel like this, like I'm barely hanging in there, but I don't know how much longer I can do this, right? Optimal environment will create these kind of results. You'll be able to grow and to bloom, and it'll be beautiful, and other people will be able to see, wow, that's really amazing. You're really doing great work in there. And so I love helping my clients find what is your optimal environment? What works really well for you? What are you doing? Where are you? Who are you with? What kind of environment really just makes you feel alive and like you're growing and you're blooming and you're excited and there's the enthusiasm and the joy and the passion? What is that for you? Because obviously it's different for everybody. And then also the flip side of that is what kind of environment does not work for you? And let's do less of that, okay? I don't know about any of y'all, but if you've ever had a job where you felt like this, and by the end of the day, you may have felt more like this. I've had a job like that. My first 2 years of nursing was like that. I was a med-surg nurse for 2 years, and I hated it. It was so miserable. It was so depressing. I cried so much because it's not my optimal environment. That was not the environment that I needed to be in. But I was there for 2 years. It was horrible. was one of the main reasons, the main motivating factor for me becoming a career coach, because I was like, people should not be doing jobs like this as an adult for any length of time. They should not be barely surviving, trying to hang in there. That's not what we're meant for in life. We are meant to be growing and to be blooming and to being amazing. And what is that for you? Because the environment that you choose to be in is going to affect you, how you feel, how you're able to work. And so we have to be able to make those choices and to recognize. The first step is recognizing in ourselves, what is that for me? Where am I happy? Where am I not okay? And very quickly I realized my optimal environment was not the hospital. It was definitely not the emergency room in the hospital. That was like a whole nother set of a big mess. My optimal environment is not going grocery shopping on the weekends with the entire rest of the state of Texas. That is not good for me. My optimal environment is not sitting stuck in traffic. I have no patience. And so that feeling like I'm good for about 20 seconds and then I gotta get out of the car. But I have learned, like, my optimal environment, I have to have some quiet. I have to have some space. I have to have some time to think. I need to have less chaos and less plastic, like more nature, more water, more sky, less everything else is really good for me. I can think, and then when I'm thinking, I'm able to do better work, and I'm able to really get clear in my mind what I want to do, what my goals are, how I can get closer to that. So when I work with my clients, and for you yourself, think about, what environment is it? What are the things, the specific things that trigger, this is really good for me, or this is not working? Why? Why is it not working? What is the problem here? What is it that's not working for you? Figure that out, because there's a difference between being alive like this and hanging in there and on your last leg, and it may or may not make it to the weekend, and being beautiful and being just bringing joy to everyone who sees it, because it's so gorgeous and blooming, and like, this plant is so happy. It loves where it is. It's growing so well. I'm still amazed every time I look at it. Like, it is truly just so beautiful. But we have to do that as people as well. We have to think to ourselves, what is it? Because it's not you. The problem here is not the plant. There's nothing wrong with this plant. The problem is where the plant has been out in the heat for the past, little while. What changes do you need to make to your environment to help you grow and bloom and it to become where you are meant to be and supposed to be? How do you find that? And how quickly can you do more of that and less of the other? So best wishes to that. I think it's a tremendously huge thing to think about for all of life, but a very, very big skill that we need to start working on early is figuring out what works for me, what doesn't, why, what is the problem, and then where should I be focusing my energy instead?